That's Hatchie from her new album Liquorice, featuring songs inspired by her favorite tragic romantic films. So we had to ask Hatchie what are her favorite tragic romantic films.
I think the ultimate for me is Umbrellas of Cherbourg. It's one of my favorites, directed by Jacques Demy, with Catherine Deneuve, and
Oh,
I think it was like the first one that I saw when I was a kid, where I I guess before I saw it, I didn't realize that romantic movies could have an unhappy ending, or like an ending where it's not all
yep. They
or
don't live
not
happily ever after.
exactly. So it was kind of that was a real game changer for me, as somebody who loves movies. But then more recently, when I was making this album, I watched Portrait of a Lady on Fire for the first time. That's another um, really like gut-wrenching romance movie.
Right?
Blue Valentine is another one, and
Sure.
the Sunrise series by Richard Linklater, those ones. Before Sunrise, Before Sunset. So
Yep, yep.
all those ones where they don't have the most straightforward storyline, and maybe they're a little more of a slice of life than a beginning, middle, and end
Gotcha.
happily ever after. So
Yep, yep.
yeah, I feel like they felt the most realistic to me, and they kind of reflected um, my experiences more.
The one that came to my mind, because I'm a bit older than you, is The Way We Were, especially
Oh, yeah,
Robert Redford just passed away.
I
So I
know.
used to watch that all the time back in the 70s.
That's another beautiful one where it's just like it's heart-wrenching. It's like really, it doesn't glamorize things, but it's again, that's the more realistic telling, I think.
Yep, yep, yep. All right. So what among the tracks on the record most directly reflects your cinematic thoughts and feelings?
Oh God, I don't know. It's hard to say. I think that they all work together as a whole.
Okay.
Maybe Sage, I like that Carousel and Sage are kind of showing the desperate sides of love. I
Right.
think I really wanted Sage to sound like I was kind of losing my mind a little bit and trying to convince somebody to stay with me. Um, Not that I've been through something literally like that, but I think I have had those feelings of desperation when thinking I'm in love with someone, thinking they're in love with me, and then upon reflection, years later, that was not what it was at all. And it's, it's really easy to confuse infatuation and love, I think,
Yeah.
and conflate a lot of those different feelings
Gotcha.
um, in the wrong way. So that's kind of where I'm at. Yeah.
All right. Because you're re relatively recently married. Is that true?
Yeah, I got married in 2021. We've
That's
been
close enough.
together. Yeah. Yeah. In the grand scheme of things. Um, and we've been together for it'll be 12 years in a few weeks. So
All
yeah,
right.
I'm certainly not going through those
Right.
feelings right now, but it's all feelings that I've had before and that you never really forget.
And of course, Joe works with you on the record as well, and
Hmm.
along with Stella. Is that correct? So,
Yeah, so Stella
drum?
played drums. Yeah, Melina was the producer.
Right.
But yeah, the four of us really, that's it, no one else. So it was cool. It was a very small group. And yeah, Joe and I worked on writing and producing the demos together, and then we brought them to Stella, and she helped us finish them off and produce them fully and retrack everything. And then yes, Stella drummed and really finished it off. And that was just over a year ago now. So it's very exciting to finally have it coming out.
I can imagine. I would be very frustrated waiting that long to put anything out because I'm an impatient person by nature.
Me
So,
too. Me too. It's a long time, but I'm used to it. Like the last album, we waited 2 years for it to come out, and it's just how it is.
right, right. And you recorded at a home studio in LA, is that correct?
Yep,
All
yeah.
right.
We did it at Melina's place, so super chill, casual. Yeah.
All right. So what did Melina bring to the table?
I think she brought the feminine energy that I was looking for. She has a lot of experience as a musician, maybe more so than a producer. I actually didn't really know that she did production before doing this.
Right?
Someone suggested her to me, and I loved that she was someone who's my age and has a lot of similar experiences to me, kind of working on indie rock pop music in the current climate, I guess. Um, but she was really lovely, and we got along really well when we did a Zoom together, and we have a lot of the same influences, and we realized that we were both influenced by one another's music actually with our early EPs and albums. So that was kind of when things clicked for us, we realized that we were really in one another's peripherals for a really long time. So I mean, more than anything, I just really wanted to meet her and maybe be friends with her, I guess. So it just worked out well. Yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha. Now the album opens with a track called, and I'm going to mispronounce it, Moa or something, which is
Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard anyone say it out loud,
well,
so
that's what it
your
was.
guess
Yeah.
is as good as mine. Yeah.
But I did look it up. I Googled it, so I kind of know what it's about and nostalgia for something that hasn't happened or is about to
Yes.
happen. So why is that the subject for a song of yours?
You let it take a backseat, never know who you meet. Say something typical, like you're miserable until it's over. And when your heart's resigning, and your cuffs are timing, wait for a miracle, something spiritual, let it be the cure. You won't always recognize when you're meant to stay. Maybe the world you want has to slip away.
I think nostalgia and yearning and longing are all really big parts of my life, really
Uh-huh.
big feelings that I have, particularly when I was writing this album and I was kind of trying to process those feelings and get to the bottom of why I was feeling really stuck in them. And I think for me, making music is a really good way of compartmentalizing, but not avoiding, like facing head on my emotions and putting them in a box for a place they can live so that I can kind of um, take a break from them. And so when I was writing this album, I was feeling really nostalgic and also lost and um, just really wondering how the last 5 years had flown by and where I had been and where I was going and all of those feelings that you get when you're, I guess, about to turn 30.
Yes.
And with lockdowns and everything, it was a real midlife crisis vibe there, or quarter life crisis, I hope. So yeah, I was having all those feelings that you have, particularly in between albums when you're going through a big shift in your life. And I wanted to address those feelings, and I was kind of just looking into that feeling of nothing ever being enough and nothing ever scratching the itch of life experiences in general, I guess. Um, so yeah, I'm not a particularly hedonistic person. I'm not a person who takes a lot of risks or goes on a lot of adventures. Um, and I think I was just kind of trying to reassess where I was in life in general.
Okay, it's interesting. Speaking of nostalgia, it seems that especially among songs and whatever, younger people are more nostalgic than older people,
Yeah, I agree. I think so too. Everyone's really nostalgic for the 90s or
right?
like their childhood. And I'm like, my parents don't talk about their childhood in that way, but like
Yeah,
not 20-year-olds do.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's really fascinating.
And if you think of songs like "Yesterday," for example, Paul McCartney was like 22 when he wrote that, or not, probably not even that old.
Yes.
And that's what it's all, pining away about yesterday.
Yeah. What is it? I
You
don't
didn't even
know. I
have any
think,
yesterdays.
yeah, totally. It's today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
I don't know. I wonder what it is. I think we're all kind of still romanticizing our lives, maybe.
Yeah.
And then when you get a bit older, you're kind of maybe a little more realistic. Yeah, that's a really good point.
Okay. All righty. Now, one track I wanted to touch on was "Wonder" because you got some guitars happening in there. And what what
Yeah.
what happened?
I think
I want you to wander till the sky is red. I want you to hang on every word I say. It's subliminal warfare. It's a miserable affair. It's a miracle we're here, but it hurts.
nothing in particular happened to me. I was just kind of reflecting and I was listening to a lot of the Lemonheads when I was writing that and
Right.
Yuck and those kind of Deer Hunter indie rock bands. Obviously they're from two different eras, Lemonheads and the other bands, but those kind of yeah, really guitar focused artists and Pains of Being Pure at Heart is another favorite artist of mine and my friend's band Green Buzzard, and I just wanted to write a song that was super simple and fun and kind of reflecting on those early relationships that I had when I was younger, when I was thinking that they were a lot more serious than they were, I guess, is the easiest way of putting it. And yeah, how they felt, because my life, particularly my love life, is very stable and boring these
Right.
days. So kind of had to tap into those feelings of when I was 20
Yep.
and look back on that. Yeah.
Okay. All righty. And is that you playing the guitar?
Yeah, most of it. Yeah,
Okay.
I think it is. If it's not me, then it's Joe, my husband. But yeah, I think that song in particular is all me. I'm playing all the bass as well.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you about your bass playing. Do you think of yourself more as a bass player still? Kind of?
Yeah, it's hard because I was never originally a bassist. I only started playing bass because someone asked me to play in their band and they needed a bassist.
That's a
Um,
that's a that's a common story, I think.
yeah, I think so.
Who's going
Hey,
to be the
it's
bass player?
yeah, or same with even singers. I feel like there's a lot of bands where their singers are just kind of filling in and then they're like,
Yeah.
you should just do it.
Yeah.
Um, so I kind of stumbled into playing bass, but it ended up being a bit of a relief for me because I could never really get to the point that I wanted to with guitar anyway. Um, I don't have the hand-eye coordination. Um, but
Can you
yeah,
play
so
bass and sing at the same time?
yeah, for sure. Like, which I think a lot of other people find hard, but for some reason that part's not as hard to me. It's the multiple fingers that I
Yep.
find hard.
Yep.
So it's really interesting hearing different people's perspective on what the hardest thing to do is as a guitarist. But yeah, I can't play chords very well. So bass all the way.
All right. And so I think you did some kind of gig recently on in September in Brisbane, but that was like the first one in quite a while. So what is your live situation looking like, and what's it feeling like for you?
Well, yeah, we played at Big Sound, which was like a showcase.
Right?
And at the moment, we're still kind of figuring it out. We'd love to play as a four-piece full band, but these days I think it's more realistic to kind of play as a three-piece. So at the moment, we're this week coming, we're playing as a four-piece. Next year, when we're doing more touring, I think it's going to be maybe more of a stripped back kind of situation. But we're
Yep.
really in the middle of figuring that out right now because it's a lot harder to tour than it used to be. So yeah.
And you debuted Stuck and Lose It Again, I think.
We did, yeah. So a couple of new songs. We also played Sage at that show,
Oh,
which was fun. Very daunting to play three new songs all in one go.
yep.
And it was the day that Lose It Again came out. So we were like, well, maybe people they haven't heard the songs, so they don't know how much better they can be. So it's probably the best time to play them live.
And you got a video for Lose It Again, where I think you're driving around the back of a pickup, which is something that I've seen a few videos like that lately. So what's going
Me
on
too. It's in the zeitgeist. I don't know what it is. It wasn't my idea. It just happened. I jumped in the back of the guy who owns that property who let us film there as a favor. He let us jump in the back of his truck and he also lit the big bonfire and was very excited to light the amp on fire as well. So we kind of just followed his lead.
All right. And I think the other thing that I read that you've kind of done with this record is quote unquote reconnected with yourself. So, all right, is that accurate?
Yeah, I would say so. I think I especially have reconnected with what I wanted this project to be in the beginning. And I think the last album, it was really fun to experiment and try lots of new things. But um, ultimately, I just love writing like super simple love songs, I guess. So yeah, it was just more about like what I find really fun to perform and what I find really satisfying and enjoyable rather than what I think other people want to hear.
If you enjoyed this episode of the 13th Floor's Music Talk series, please be sure to subscribe to the website or to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram and wherever you find your podcasts. There's a whole lot more to discover.